as a night guard at the old Museum of Anthropology. I thought my job would be peaceful. But that October night, during my regular rounds, I heard knocks coming from inside a colonial coffin. What happened next changed my life forever and haunts my nightmares.
You're entering Universe Paranormal, where the unknown comes to life.
It happened during my first year as a security guard at the old Museum of Anthropology. The building, a 3-story Victorian structure, housed an extensive collection of pre-Columbian artifacts and colonial relics. My night shift started at 11 when the last employee left, leaving me alone with those silent pieces that seemed to come alive under the dim emergency lights. The routine was simple. Every 2 hours, I had to patrol all corridors and halls, ensuring everything was in order. That October night, the wind was rattling the windows as I conducted my second round. The sound of my footsteps on the wooden floor echoed in the darkness, mixing with the occasional creaking of the ancient beams. I stopped in front of the display case containing a collection of ceremonial masks when I heard the first knock. A dry sound, as if someone had punched from inside one of the colonial coffins exhibited in the adjacent room. My first reaction was to stand still, thinking my mind was playing tricks on me. But then the knock repeated, louder this time. Flashlight in hand, I slowly approached the coffin. It was a 17th century piece, carved in dark wood with intricate religious motifs. The knocks continued, now in a rhythmic sequence that chilled my blood. It couldn't be real, I kept telling myself, but the sound was undeniable. I got close enough to illuminate the coffin surface and noticed something that left me breathless. Small cracks were beginning to form around the lid. Protocol dictated that I should report any anomaly, but the radio on my belt only emitted static. The knocks intensified, and I could see how a pale, bony hand emerged through one of the cracks, its twisted fingers scratching the wood. Terror paralyzed me as I watched that unnatural limb making its way to the outside. The temperature in the room dropped suddenly, and my breath turned to vapor. Suddenly, the emergency lights began to flicker, plunging the room into a grotesque alternation of light and darkness. With each flash, the hand advanced further, now accompanied by the sound of splintering wood. A smell of damp earth and decay filled the air. My instinct screamed at me to run, but my legs wouldn't respond. That's when I remembered the words of the previous guard, who had quit without explanation after only 3 nights. He had warned me about the strange noises, about the things that awakened after midnight, but I hadn't believed him. Now faced with this nightmare, I understood his fear. The hand managed to break through completely and began feeling the air, as if searching for something or someone. Its movements were spastic, unnatural, as if each joint moved in impossible directions. The cold intensified, and I could hear a whisper that seemed to come from inside the coffin. Words in a language I didn't understand, but that filled me with primordial terror. With superhuman effort, I broke my paralysis and backed toward the door. The hand reached for me, its fingers extended like claws. I ran through the dark corridors, stumbling over pedestals and display cases, while I heard something pursuing me, dragging itself across the floor. I reached the security booth and locked the door, my heart beating so hard I thought it would burst from my chest. The security cameras showed empty corridors, but I knew something had changed forever. That night marked the beginning of my recurring nightmares, where that pale, bony hand searches for me in the darkness. I quit the next day, but the memory of what I saw in the museum haunts me. Every time I hear a knock in the night, my mind returns to that coffin and the hand that emerged from within, searching for something I prefer not to imagine.